सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिनि व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य तन्मपादं च अस्ति तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यानस्मत्कुरुं सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। हानिलाभ्यरित्रन्तं सक्फणीव यथा ध्वान्तच्चिते नमस्तस्मै हरये बुद्धिसाक्षिणे नमः। These people today, I think. Okay. So evam tavat pratyaksha anumana, I think it is yet to be introduced. So we saw the shloka, hitam samprepsatam mohad, ahitam cha jihasatam, upayan praptihan arthan, shastram bhasete arkavat. So this Surya only lights up the world, has no connection to the good or bad that happens in the world. Similarly is the case of Shastra. Shastra, what does it do? Shastra just reveals the means to the end, does not tell you that you should do it. It does not tell you should do it in the sense that you are not defined by the Shastra as to what you are. Shastra does not tell you. And because you have a responsibility, that also Shastra doesn't tell you. Shastra just says that if you consider you are this kind of a person, you are a person and this kind of a person, and you want this kind of a result, then these are the means. So that's what we saw in the last 29th verse. Further, in the Tika, Purva Shloka Uktartham, Purva Shloka Uktam Artham, Sopaskaram Anudya, Vartishyamaanasya Granthasya, Tatparyam Aha, Evan Tavaditi. So he says, the earlier Shloka, Purva Shloka Artha, what is it? Repeating that, right, along with its whatever the means. Vartishyamanasya Granthasya, the context that is going to come up now in the Grantha, Tatparima. What is the Tatparya of that Grantha? He says, Evan Tavaditi. Evan Tavat Pratyaksha Anumana Agama Pramana Avashtambhat. Because it has been accepted now that Pratyaksha Anumana Agama Pramana are the basis. Atmanaha Niratishaya Sukha Hita Avyatireka Siddhehe. And there is no Sukha, Hita, all of these that you are looking for. Sukha Swarupa, Atma being Sukha Swarupa, you cannot be seeking Sukha outside of yourself. Vishaya has no Sukha. So the looking for means to meet that end is futile. And Niratisha Sukha Hita Avyatireka Siddhehe. It is not separate from you. And Ahitasya cha shashta gocharavat swatha eva anabhisambandhat. So Shastra is definitely a pramana which reveals your real nature, but not the means to the goal. And Pratyaksha, Anumana, Shastra, these are not really pramana to tell you what? Tell you your nature. So what you know through Pratyaksha, Anumana can be Brahma. Can be Brahma. So the basis is what? Having accepted yourself as a limited human being, then you are using all the means Pratyaksha, Anumana, Shastra. So here, Ahita, what is Ahita? Ahita, if the Atma Swarupa is Sukha, Ahita cannot cannot incur to you. There is no ahita which can be occurring to you as a result. Dukkha, basically dukkha. You cannot have dukkha if your nature is sukha. So ahita is what? Shashta gocharavat. So there is a tippana there. What is the meaning really? Shashta gocharavat is an example. Swata eva anabhi sambandhat. There is no sambandha like what Shashta gochara. The tippana says Shashta gocharavat means what? Shashta pramana gocharavat. Sixth pramana is abhava. So abhavavat. Sixth pramana is basically to know abhava. How do you know abhava? Tarkika does not have this pramana, abhava. To know abhava, he says yena indriyena yad griyate teneva indriyena tasya abhava tadabhava tad jatischa griyate. This is a niyama. So Tarkika says that whichever indriya is pramana for whatever guna or whatever it is. So Chakshur Indriya is pramana for Rupa, for example. So you see Ghata Rupa through Chakshur Indriya. Then how do you know Ghata Abhava, Ghata Rupa Abhava? Or let's just say simple example, Ghata. How do you know Ghata? Ghata is Pratyaksha to me. How? Because through Chakshur Indriya, I have seen Ghata. Let's not go to the Vedanta Rupa and all that guna. So Ghata is Pratyaksha known through Chakshur Indriya. You have seen the Ghata. So how do you know Ghata Abhava or Ghatatva Jati? So Tarkika says that Ghata as well as Ghata Abhava and Ghatatva Jati all are known through the same Chakshur Indriya. So when Chakshur Indriya sees, helps you see Ghata, then if Ghata is not there, then the same Indriya tells you Ghata Abhava. Meaning what? Ghata Abhava is Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha Pramana Antargata for a Tarkika. For the Siddhanti and Purvamimamsaka, where there is Bhattamata, there sixth Pramana is agreed with. Sixth Pramana is what? Anupalabdhi Pramana. How do you know Abhava? Not through Pratyaksha. It is not part of Pratyaksha. You don't see Abhava, you have a sixth Pramana called Anupalabdhi Pramana. So they don't agree with Anupalabdhi Pramana. So they say Shashta Pramana Gocharavat, Abhavavat, Vedanta Shastra Darshana Anusarina Shashta Pramanantu Anupalabdhi Reva. Sixth Pramana for a Vedanti is Anupalabdhi. Abhava eva tasya vishaya iti bhava. So abhava is vishaya of Anupalabdhi Pramana. So Shashta Gocharavat means abhavavat. This is the meaning that the Tippanakara has taken. So what is the Mula saying? Shashta Gocharavat swataeva ahitasya anabhisambandhat. That is the Anvaya. There is no sambandha with ahita of the Atma. Like what? Like the Shashta Gochara. This is one way to understand. There is another possibility. I'm just saying another possibility instead of taking abhava, because Tarkika has categorized abhava into four. And he says that for abhava, you need a pratiyogi. So abhava has some sambandha. So in my understanding, I would read the Shashta Gochara can also be seen as if you have 5 Jnanendriyas, 6th Jnanendriya is not there. So you cannot have a connection the way there is, we say sixth sense. There is no sixth sense really. Nothing agreeable, so to say. So fifth. So here it is like the sixth sense. Shashta Gochara means what? Through the fifth Indriya, something can be known, but not through the sixth. So 1 to 5, you have access. 6, there is no Indriya. So this is another way to read it. Basically what? There is no sambandha possible because we do not have a 6th Indriya. Similarly, what? Ahita, since there is no, the example is there is no 6th Indriya or 6th Pramana. And exemplified what is the Darshtantika? There is no connection possible with the, because there is no way that Atma can connect with Ahita, because Atma is Asanga and it is Sukha Swarupa. It can have no connection with Dukkha at all. It can have no connection with anything really. Here Ahita has been used to clarify that there is no Sambandha possible. Asangatvan is the Hetu real. Swatayeva Anabhi Sambandha. Because there is no Sambandha possible here. So there is no Hita Sambandha. Still we have Sukha. Why? Because Swarupa is Ananda Swarupa, Sukha Swarupa. And there is no Ahita Sambandha also. So Dukkha possibility is not there. That's all. The issue with the Hita, being seen as outside yourself is because there is a misplacement of Atma Sukha in the Vishaya. The source is misunderstood. So Swatayeva Anabhisambandhat evam swabhavya Atma Anavabodha Matradev hitam me syad ahitam me ma bhut iti mithya jnanam तूषर शुक्तिका अनवबोध उत्थ मिथ्या ज्ञानवत् प्रवृत्ति निमित्तम इति निर्धारितम. So I think there was nothing much there in the tika here. Even tavad. Okay. So he says, because there is no sambandha with ahita, dukkha is not a possibility, sukha is your swarupa, therefore seeking hita also is not possible. Therefore, what is the conclusion? Evam swabhavya atma anavabodha. Atma anavabodha matra eva. So what is the cause for hitam me syad ahitam me ma bhut? Let there be something beneficial that should occur to me, and nothing, nothing, no sort of dukkha to incur unto me. So I should get no dukkha. Let there be sukha, always be sukha for me, and no asukha or dukkha. This is the idea with hitam me syad ahitam me ma bhut. What is the basis for this? He says, evam swabhavya. What is the swabhava? The asanga sukha swarupa atma is not known. Anavabodha matra deva. That is the only reason. Ajnana. Ajnana is the reason for seeking hita, and seeking means for hita, also avoidance of dukkha and means to avoid dukkha. Iti mithya jnanam. This is the mithya jnanam. What is the mithya jnana? Swarupa now. Hitam me syad ahitam me mahabhut. It is the basis is also mithya jnana, and the effect is also called as mithya jnana. One is avarna, the other is vikshepa. Thereby what? Tushara shuktika anavabodha uttha mithya jnanavat. Just like vikshepa takes place of what? Instead of tushara is the marubhumi, the the desert, onto which you see, instead of which you see water. In fact, in that case, we'll say on the desert. You see it on the desert land itself, you'll see water, etc. And shuktika anavabodha, because of not knowing the shell, in the sunshine on the seashore, one may see silver. So, tushara shuktika anavabodha. Anavabodha here is ajnana. Because of the ajnana of the desert, and the second example is shell. What is the uttha? Uttha is mithya jnana. Here mithya jnana is in the sense of vikshepa. So adhyasa. There is an adhyasa of water, mirage water, and the silver instead of shell. That itself is pravrutti nimittam. Ajnana is the ajnana avarana, and vikshepa is the pravrutti nimitta. It is the only basis for engaging in any karma, iti nirdharitam. This is the ascertained result of the analysis, which was questioned in the last part I have seen. Why should we do this analysis? What is the outcome? What is the outcome which will be, what will be the conclusion based on the analysis? If it is one way or the other, what are you going to conclude? So here we had said that we will win or you will win. That's all it is. So here nirdharitam, we are showing that mithya jnana is a basis. So what the Purvapakshi considered as an axiom, based on which we said that all laukika or vaidika karma take place, then the vidya alone will be the, will be able to take away the avidya or ajnana. Will be the only hetu. There is no other means. The only means will be vidya. Further, what Shastram cha na padartha shakti shaktya adhanakrit. Both ways you can see shaktya adhanakrit or shaktya adhanakrit. Samasta pada or vyasta pada. Both are okay. In vyasta pada it will be shaktya. So padartha shaktya adhanakrit na shastram. So it is not, it has nothing to do with the padartha and its shakti. So pada padartha sambandha is nitya, all that is fine, but padartha being there and based on the padartha, Shastra is asking you to do something. That is not the case. Shastra is not making you do something. It is not krit. Krit meaning what? Shastra is not Krit meaning not karta. Shastra is not karta to tell you you are a karta bhokta, you are a person, you are a man, you are a woman, have this varnashrama. None of these. It is not based on the padartha shakti at all. Atha etasya eva uttaratra prapanchaha arabhyate. Therefore, the elaboration of this analysis itself will continue in the following text. Now here, in the Tika, Purva Shloka Uktamartham see Vartishyamana Granthasya Tatparyamaha. That is the conclusion in the Mula also now. Now there is some there's some quotations here. Yavanti padani ekam prayojanam abhinivartayanti tavanti ekam vakyam. In what context I have marked it? एवं तावत् प्रत्यक्ष अनुमान आत्मनः निरतिशय सुख हित अव्यतिरेक सिद्धे अहितस्य च. So something in the context of the Tippana, perhaps. I think I just marked it for some reason. And then Arthekatva Adekam Vakyam. What is the Sandarbha there? Okay, I don't remember why I marked it. So I marked it sometime. So anyway, Ekavakyata. What is Ekavakyata? Just to mention what is the context there. It is not fitting here, but Shastram here means we'll say Shastra Vakya. So you can take it with what all the quotations which have gone by. Okay, so let's connect with that. So here Eshvasya Paramanandaha Ityadi. So there are a lot of statements which have been quoted. Ajam, Ajaram, Abhayam, Shokantaram. So all these statements which the Siddhanti has quoted, all these statements are collected from various Upanishads. So Purvapakshi may ask, these are spread across. How do you consider them as talking about Atma? So Siddhanti will say, this is what Mimamsa is. Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa both define Vakya as Tatparya Vishayatvam. What is Vakyatvam? Tatparya Vishayatvam eva Vakyatvam. Unlike the Vaiyakarana will say Ekatinga Vakya. If you have a single verb, that is a Vakya. So that's how we learn, right? So let's say Ramaha Vanam Gacchati. So Gacchati is one word there. Rama Vanam Gacchati. And then further what? Let's say there is a comma and you say Ramaha Vanam Gacchati, Tena Saha Lakshmana Api Gacchati. And then we say that, some story there and multiple Tinganta Padas come in there. Or let's say Ramaha Vanam Gantum Ichchati Gacchati cha. So now these are two different sentences. Let's take different verbs. So Ramaha Vanam Gantum Ichchati and then Ramaha Vanam Gacchati cha. So these are two different Vakyas. Even if Ramaha Vanam Gacchati is not there, it is mentioned that Ramaha Vanam Gantum Ichchati, desires to go to, why? Pitru Ajnaya. Let's give a hetu also. Rama Pitru Ajnaya Vanam Gantum Ichchati. So Ichchati is a Tinganta Pada. And then comma Gacchati cha. So this Gacchati cha, it is not a single sentence now. You have to, Gacchati is a separate thing, Tinganta Pada, separate verb, therefore you have to separate the sentences. However, in Purvamimamsa Shastra and Tarkika also, let's look at Tarkika. What does Tarkika say? Tarkika says if there are two words, then there is an Akanksha. One word, we had seen this, Tatparya Vishayatvam I had mentioned earlier when, what Dandena Gam. So, Dandena Gam, I think Shuklam Gam or something. Yeah. So, Dandena Shuklam Gam. So, there is no Tinganta Pada here. So, Purvamimamsaka had said that Tinganta Pada is needed for any Vakya and Tinganta Pada is basically having a Dhatu which shows a Kriya. Therefore, all Vakyas are Kriya Para, Karma Para. In that context, we had seen. For the Naiyayika, multiple words being there, whether it is a Tinganta or Subanta Pada, is irrelevant. If there is more than one word, it's a Vakya. For the Purvamimamsaka, the words may have multiple Tinganta Padas. They can have, there should be Tinganta Pada, of course. There can be multiple Tinganta Padas. There can be multiple Vaiyakarana Vakyas. multiple words spread across pages, not even continuous. They can be spread across different shakhas of Veda. But if they are talking about a single karma, then there is ekavishayatvam and ekavakyatvam. So Tatparya Vishaya is one. If it is talking about a single karma, so some karmas with some vakyas is mentioned in some, some vakyas and some Vyakarana Drishtya Vakyam. So if there are sentences, many sentences in one place, some other sentences in some other place, all those will be connected. If it is related to one karma, then it will say that this is a single vakya. Similarly, Uttar Mimamsaka Vedanti also, Siddhanti will also say all of this, Ajam, Ajaram, Abhayam, Eshasya, Paramananda, these are all talking about, all are Lakshana Vakya of Atma. So being Lakshana of Atma, if they are spread across Upanishads also, there is Eka Vakyata. Why? Because Tatparya Vishaya is one to reveal the nature of the self. So all Mahavakyas will have one single Vakyata, Eka Vakyata. So in that context, there is Yavanti Padani Ekam Prayojanam Abhinivartayanti Tavanti Ekam Vakyam. This is the Purvamimamsaka Sutra Bhashya, Shabara Swami Bhashya. So there, as many padas are there. If they talk about a single Prayojana, then they are a single Vakya. Why? So here there is Artha Ekatvad Ekam Vakyam. There is Sutra Artha Ekatvad Ekam Vakyam Purvamimamsaka Vakya. Okay, moving on in the Tika. Shastrancha iti uttarardha anuvadaha. So Shastramcha. So there is a Shastramcha in the Mula, which says what? Shastramcha na padartha shaktya adhana krud iti. So there is a uttarartha sambandha. He says this is how the in the shloka. In the shloka, the Shastra word is there. So that is described there. Uttarartha sambandha. The Shastram bhasayate arkavat. What? Upayan, which are prapti, hana, artha. Prapti or prapti of the artha or hana. To do away with the artha, ohak tyage. So with this background now, Siddhanti is going to proceed. Padarthanam shaktim atmanaha, spread across page. Atmanaha kartrutva bhoktruttvadi shaktim. So what is padarthanam shaktim? So the word which has been used here in the Mula, padartha shakti adhanakrut. No, Shastra is not padartha shakti adhanakrut. So that is explained in the Tika as what is padartha shakti. He says the padartha shakti is what? So this is what I don't want to scroll. So too much of scrolling to understand. That's why I wanted to avoid the long Hindi anuvada in the book. Padarthanam shaktim atmanaha कर्तृत्व भोक्तृत्वादि शक्तिम स्वर्गादेश साध्यत्व शक्तिम यागादेह साधनत्व शक्तिम च न आदत्ते. Shastra does not tell you, it does not feed you this information. It is not based on this padartha shakti also. What is that kartrutva bhoktrutva? Atma has kartrutva bhoktrutva. This is not the idea of the Shastra, considering that it is not giving you a vidhi or nisheda. And swargadi is prapya. Prapya meaning one has to attain this, one has to go to Swarga. This is not something that is the role of the Shastra. And Sadhyatva Shaktim, Swargadescha Sadhyatva Shaktim, because it is Prapya, it is Sadhya, there will be Shakti in Swarga. What Shakti? Sadhyatva Shakti. This is not the drishti of the Shastra. That is what is being said. No is separate pada sitting there. And Sadhanatva Shakti, Yagadehe Sadhanatva Shaktincha, na adatte. There is no basis of karta, karma, and karana. That triputi which is there, to connect the karta with the sadhya, sadhana is needed. Shastra does not see you as a karta, does not see that you have kartrutva, bhoktrutva, shakti. With that drishti, Shastra is not telling you this is sadhya. Swarga has sadhyatva shakti, it is sadhya. And there is yaga has sadhanatva shakti, and you do this. Shastra does not do that. It has nothing to do with these. None of these Shaktis. This is just sampling any Shakti that you see in any Padartha. Shastra is not looking into that and giving you some rules to follow or avoid. Kintu prakashati eva iti uktam ityartha. Because what was said is that looking at your desire, because you consider yourself as a limited person, your desire for the sadhya is met by the Shastra by giving you the sadhana. So the question can be, oh, then Shastra does see me as a karta, Swarga as sadhya, and Yaga as sadhana. To this, the counter is given. It is not even that. It is just revealing the means, because you need means and you already consider yourself as karta bhokta with a sadhya in mind. So kintu prakasheti eva, it just reveals that this sadhyatva, if it is seen in Swarga, then it can be attained. Then it can be attained, and this sadhanatva Shakti is there. This is not the meaning. The meaning is that the sadhanatva Shakti is not the basis for the Shastra to make rules. Because you consider sadhya to be attained by you, the karta, for bhoga, because you are bhokta, this is your thinking. Therefore, sadhana is needed, and Shastra reveals that sadhana. That's all. Whether you want to do it or not, it is left to you, up to you. Like Bhagavan Krishna said everything and then say yatha yogyam tatha kuru. Yadichhasi tat kuru. So here, and further what? Yeah. So this is all prakintu prakashiti evityartha. So this is the 30th verse. So we already gone to the 30th verse. Yeah. So in the Mula, atha etasya eva uttaratar prapancha arabhyate. Now there is an expanse of this very idea that mithya jnana is the basis for every pravritti into hita prapti and nivritti of ahita. So there is a pravritti for nivritti of ahita. Jihasa. So the 30th verse is न परीप्सां जिहासां वा पुंसः शास्त्रं करोति हि निजे एव तु ते यस्मात् पश्वादावपि दर्शनात्. So न परीप्सां जिहासां वा पुंसः शास्त्रं करोति, नो पदच्छेद, निजे एव तु ते यस्मात् पश्वादौ अपि दर्शनात्. So shastram na karoti. Shastra does not do. Nahi karoti. Indeed, Shastra does not do. What does it not do? Pumsaha paripsam jihasam va. Shastram pumsaha pumsha purushasya jivasya paripsam jihasam va na karot nahi karoti. Shastra does not does not do paripsa. Paripsa is ichha here. So ichha or tyaga for the purusha, that you get this as sadhya and you do away this, that is also sadhya. Shastra does not do this at all. Why? Yasmat, because they here what? Paripsa and jihasa, these are strilinga. So you can take it as dvivachana in strilinga. So sate taha. So te, paripsa and jihasa, nijevatu. Because what? Because they are nije. Nije here is in the meaning swabhavika. Nija does not mean here real. It just means it is swabhavika. Meaning it is already there. So Shastra does not cause paripsa or jihasa. Ichha, prapti ichha and hana ichha, Shastra does not cause for anyone. Why? Because they are already there. They are already there. How do you know they are already there? Pashwado api darshanat. It's seen in Pashwado api darshanat. It is seen, already seen. If Shastra were to do it, then you wouldn't see it in birds and animals. Birds and animals also want something. They want to give up something. They have no access to Shastra. Therefore, Shastra is not causing this desire to attain something or give up something. Purvamamsaka Drishti is different. He says that Shastra, the very idea of Shastra is to cause Ichha in your mind by telling you Swarga, this is Swarga, oh, you should desire this. This is Purvamamsaka's thinking. Vedanti says that Shastra does not do that. Shastra just tells you, it reveals there is something like Swarga, does not tell you you do it. But Purvamamsaka says, no, there is a Vidhi there. What does Vidhi mean? Vidhi means that you do it. Siddhanti does not see it this way. Siddhanti says that it is not possible, because if there is a desire in something, a desire to get something or avoid something, that is seen in animals also, in birds also, in other species, not only in human beings. Therefore, Shastra does not do this. This is the shloka artha. There is a tippana here, Pashwadavapi. Pashwadavapi. Oh, this is a long tippana. Pashwadi Bhashya Visheshat. It is actually the entire Bhashya has been quoted. This is from Adhyasa Bhashya. I'll just read it for completion's sake. Those who have studied it, they'll get it easier, so easily. Pashwadavapi Pashwadi Bhashya Vishesha. This is a word which is, Sutra Sthaniya, really. It is not a sutra. Many people, many tikas and other works quote it as though it is a sutra. Bhagavan Bhashyakara has used this in the introduction to Brahma Sutra called Adhyasa Bhashya. So yata hi pashvadeha shabdadi shrotradi nam sambandhe sati shabdadi vijnane pratikule jate tato nivartante. So just like the pashus, when there is a sambandha with indriyas, with shabdadi, so shrotradi indriya is connected with shabdadi. If it is beneficial, then they'll have pravritti towards it. If it is not beneficial, they'll withdraw from it. That's all it is. So pratikule shabdadi vijnane pratikule jate tato nivartante anukule cha pravartante. If it is anukala, they have pravritti. So example is given: yatha dandodyatakaram purusham abhimukham upalabhya mam hantumayamichhati iti palayitum arabhante harita truna purna panim upalabhya tam prati abhimukhi bhavanti evam purusha abhivyutpanna chitta ityadaya. So looking at, somebody who is holding a stick in his hand, a raised stick, they understand, they understand that, there is a risk here to go closer to this person, so they run away. Palayitum arabhante. But if they look at, the animals look at what? Look at, the herbivorous animals, if they look at green grass being held by the person and then he extends his hand, they know that, this is a friendly person, he is going to feed me. So hita sadhana will go towards that person. So here, similarly, evam purusha, what kind of purusha? Vyutpanna chittaha api. Even those who have, who are wise, people with wisdom, even those people, what happens? Krura drishtina akroshata khadgodyatakaran balavata upalabhya tato nivartante. If somebody is having a sword in his hand, even a jnani will run away. Even a jnani will run away. Why? Because this is going to harm the body, whether he has connection with the body or not. But there is pashwadi bhashya visheshat, that kind of a pravrutti nivritti, because samskara is there. So samskara balat tad viparitan prati pravartante. And if someone is, doing hita to this person, he'll not run away, he'll still be there. Atha samana pashwadivi purushanam pramana prameya vyavahara. So pramana and prameya vyavahara is same for everyone, just like it is for animals and birds. Human beings also have the same vyavahara. Pashwadinancha prasiddha eva aviveka purvaka pratyakshadi vyavahara. So what is the conclusion now? Okay, let it be so. So conclusion is this: Pashwadinancha prasiddha eva aviveka purvaka pratyakshadi vyavahara. The vyavahara into pratyaksha, anumana, etc., that the Purva Pakshi indicated, there is a pramana backing this. How can you call it as mithya jnana? Mithya jnana is not the basis. Pramana is the basis. Brahma is not the basis. Brahma is the basis. So Purva Pakshi is told by giving the example of the birds and animals, saying that their vyavahara, are they buddhi purvaka or not? So he says, पश्वादीनांच प्रसिद्धेव अविवेकपूर्वक प्रत्यक्षादि व्यवहार. It's an instinctual that they are not thinking a lot, saying that okay, this is beneficial, this is not beneficial. It is instinctual, swabhavika. So pratyakshadi vyavahara is not viveka purvaka, it is aviveka purvaka, it is not buddhi purvaka. Similarly is the case of the wise person also, and all people, human beings also. तत्सामान्य दर्शनाद व्युत्पत्तिमतामपि पुरुषाणां प्रत्यक्षादि व्यवहार तत्काल समान इति निश्चीयते. Tatkala means in such cases where he need not use buddhi. He is hungry, he goes and takes food. That's all. Anybody is hungry, will take food. Now, there is no vichara backing that I should eat. Oh, now I am hungry, I should eat. All this happens automatically. Why? Swabhavika pravritti. This is Adhyasha Bhashya on Brahma Sutra. So, tika. So, nije eva iti. What is nije eva iti? Shastradheya विज्ञानम विना एव पश्वादीनाम इव तयोहो सद्भावाद इत्यर्थ. तयो कयो, these paripsa and jihasa, both are, hita prapti ichha and ahita jihasa ichha, these are naturally there. It's a tendency for all jivas. There is nothing different that Shastra has to tell you. Seek this, avoid this. Shastra does not tell you that. It is not the role of the Shastra. So Shastra adhiye vijnanam vinaiva. Without learning from accepting Shastra as a pramana and then further saying, oh, now I should desire this, I should avoid this. That is not the case, because Pashwadinam iva tayoho sadbhavat. Paripsa and jihasa or are already there, just like they are in birds and animals. So that is the 30th verse. Purvam karma pravritti hetu nirupanena kaivalyasya karma sadhyatvam nirakritam. Aduna avidya vishaya atma swarupa paryalochaneya api karmasu pravritya sambhavam darshayetumaha uktam ityadi. So purvam karma pravritti hetu nirupanena, karma pravritti hetu nirupanena, through the description of what? Cause for pravritti into karma. Kaivalyasya karma sadhya, kaivalyasya mokshasya. Moksha is karma sadhya. This was the idea of the Purvapakshi that has been discounted, has been refuted. Nirakritam earlier. Now, aduna, now, karmasu pravritti asambhavam darshetumaha. Now also, there is no possibility of engagement in karma. How is it being shown now? Avidya vishaya atma swarupa paryalochaneya api. Even looking at what? Even looking at the, analyzing, and the drishti is what? From the perspective of looking at atma swarupa. What is the atma swarupa? That is not known. Avidya vishaya. This atma swarupa becomes the vishaya for avidya. Meaning what? Avrita atma swarupa drishtyapi. Because the atma swarupa, ananda swarupa is not known. Earlier what? Karma pravritti hetu. Now what? Atma, nature of Atma is not known. Therefore what? Even when that is avidya vishaya atma swarupa paryalochane api karmasu pravritti asambhavam darshayetumaha uktam ityadi. How does this make sense? Let's look at the mula. Uktam tavad anavabuddha vastu yathatmya eva vidhi pratisheda shastreshu adhikriyate iti. So kaha adhikriyate? Vidhi pratisheda shastreshu. Who has pravritti, who has adhikara in vidhi and pratisheda shastra? Uktam tavat. It has been stated, anavabuddha vastu yathatmyaha. Pullinga. So, anavabuddha means not known. What is not known? Vastu yathatmya. Vastu is atma. Vasati iti vastu atma brahma. Brahmatma. Brahmatma yathatmyam. Yathatma yatha swarupam. And tasya bhava yathatmyam. This swarupa, nature of Atma, is not known to whom. So, tavat anavabuddha vastu yathatmyam. Anavabuddham vastu yathatmyam yena. सः अनवबुद्धवस्तु स एव अधिक्रियते कुत्र विधिप्रतिषेधशास्त्रेषु अदरवाइज फॉर आत्मज्ञानी को विधि को निषेध एल्सवेयर इट इज सेड को विधि को निषेध वेदो अवेदो भवति Veda does not remain Veda anymore. Veda Shastra is Pramana as long as you consider yourself as someone to whom all these rules apply. You are not that limited being anymore because the Shastra has revealed your Swarupa. If you know your Swarupa, then the Vidhi Nisheda Shastra does not apply to Atma. To someone who is residing in the in the body, so to say, to that Atma there is no rule. It was never there. It was never there. But the drishti was earlier. Ajnani drishti is that I am this person, limited person, and there is sadhya to attain. Therefore, I need sukha and dukkha. Therefore, I need sadhana for that. And this is revealed by the Shastra. So I should do this. I should not do this because Shastra says if you are a limited being and you want sukha, then this is the means. If you are a limited being and you want to avoid dukkha, then this is the means. Therefore, the Vidhi Nisheda Shastra is applicable to the Ajnani who thinks himself as the body-mind-sense complex or with the body-mind sense complex, mixed with it, Mishrita. Now, for the Jnani who has samskara of this body-mind-sense complex being mine and/or, that may be one possibility, or both, and Loka Sangrartham. Looking at me, others will also follow. Yadyad achareti shreshta, says Bhagavan Krishna. Tattadevo itare janah. So, others also will follow. So, if I don't follow the Vidhi Nisheda, others may not follow. So, he has to follow. So, that is also a possibility. But to Atma, which is known to the Jnani, that Atma does not have any Vidhi Nisheda. So, here, in the Mula, Uktam tavad anavabuddha vastu yathatmyah eva vidhishastra and pratisheda shastra. Vidhishastra, pratisheda shastra, that's the samasta pada here dvandva. Vidhi pratisheda shastreshu adhikriyate iti. This has been stated. Atha aduna vishaya swabhava anurodhena pravritya sambhavam vaktu kama aha. So in the Tika it was said what? Aduna avidya vishaya atma swarupa paryalochanya api. This atma which is the vishaya for ajnana, meaning avruta atma. That atma, although avruta, what is the swarupa of atma? That atma will also not have pravritti in karma. So here, earlier what was said is that purvam karma pravritti hetu nirupanena. Kaivalasya karma sadhyatvam nirakritam. So, what is the karma pravritti hetu? Mithya jnana. So, mithya jnana is hetu. And what is the second approach now? That atma swarupa, which is avruta, that also does not allow karma pravritti. Mithya jnana is the hetu for karma pravritti. Therefore, mithya jnana being the basis for karma pravritti, that is brahma. So it is not a valid basis. So there is no pramana for engagement in karma. This was the earlier case. Now what? Now Atma Swarupa is such that it can never get in, involved in karma. It can never engage in karma. It is avruta. So now the Mulakara says, Aduna avidya vishaya atma swarupa, no here, atha aduna vishaya swabhava anurodhena pravritya sambhavam. Vishaya is vastu here, atma. So atma swabhava anurodhena pravritya sambhavam vaktu kamaha aha. Vaktu kamaha ka? Sambandha uktikara is same as who has made the shlokas also. So he says that he himself is going to say. So Sureshwaracharya eva vaktu kamaha aha. What? The next shloka. 31st shloka is लिप्सते ज्ञानतो लब्धं कंठे चामीकरं यथा वर्जितं च स्वतो भ्रान्त्या छायायामात्मनो यथा. together. Bhayan mohavanabdhatma rakshah parijihirshati yaccha parihritam vastu tatha labdhan cha lipsate. So 31, 32. For Anvaya, it has to be read together. So lipsate, ajnanataha labdam, kanthe chamikaram yatha. So lipsate ajnanataha, that's the padachida. Varjitam cha swataha bhrantya chhayayam atmanaha yatha. Bhayat moha mohavanadhatma, single word. Rakshah parijihirshati yat cha aparihrutam vastu tatha alabdham cha lipsate. So lipsate, ajnanata labdham. So here yatha chamikaram, kanthe chamikaram labdham ajnanataha lipsate. So one chamikara, a necklace. So kanthe, there is a necklace which is already there in the around the neck. The necklace is being worn, but what happens is that this is a prasiddha example. We all know this. Covered by a cloth or something, and it is seen as though lost, and one tries to seek it. Similarly, is the Atma Ananda. One tries to seek Ananda, although it is one's own Swarupa. That is the Udahrata. Further, what about Ahita? Ahita example, Yatha Atmanaha Chhayayam. So Atmanaha Yatha Atmanaha Bhrantya Chhayayam Swataha Varjitam Cha Parijiharshati. Anvaya will be in Parijiharshati. So, the example is what? What Chhayayam Bhrantya Swatahe Varjitam Rakshaha. Raksha is Rakshasa. So you're walking by, generally, people who are always scared, some bhaya is there, this or the other, or seen horror movie, generally don't want to see horror movies but can't give up. Then they are scared, can't sleep at night. So very, weird kicks. So some people have this. That's an extreme example maybe. But somebody, maybe a kid. Let's just take a kid who is, scared, does not understand the shadow and all that. So sometimes, he looks at the shadow also, he thinks somebody is following him. Generally, when you have fear, or you have reason to have fear, let's say, somebody has reason to fear that, somebody is following, or, owes money or whatever, So some people are following me and all that. So this person is scared. So when there is a shadow also, his shadow, there is scare. But this is the example of someone who does not know the shadow, cannot be given up. So some example like that. Yatha atmana chhayayam rakshaha bhrantya swataye varjitam api parijihirshati. Tyaktumichhati. So desire to do away with chhaya, which is, there is no rakshasa in chhaya. One's own shadow, there is no rakshasa. You are the rakshasa. If in the shadow there is a rakshasa, then I am the rakshasa, right? So he says that parihritam already swataheva varjitam, not there at all. Just like this labdham, swataheva labdham, kanthe chamikaram labdham eva. But labdham ichhati. Desires to get what is already, already there. Ananda is already there, wants to get it. In the Udahrata, similarly, what? Dukkha is already swatayeva varjitam. Dukkha is not there, cannot even taint Atma, there is no sambandha at all, but still, tyaktum ichhati. Here also, example, same thing. Rakshasa is not there in the chaya, but wants to, do away with this Rakshasa. What is the hetu there? Bhayat. Moha avanadhatma. So, the moha avanadhatma. So basically, under the influence of this moha, which is vikshepa, cause is what? Bhaya. So ajnana is the cause for the bhaya also. But in the example, bhaya is the cause for being under the vasha of moha, vikshepa. Similarly, ajnana vashat eva wants to get sukha which is already there, labdham, already labdha, and wants to do away with dukkha which is already varjita. This is the idea. So yaccha aparihrutam vastu here bhayat mohavanadhadna raksha parijirshati yaccha aparihrutam vastu tatha alabdham cha lipsate. So generally what? Generally alabdham lipsate, desire, desire something which is already attained, which is not attained. That is the general case. What is not there you desire, and aparihrutam vastu alabdham cha lipsate. Here parijihirshiti as an with aparihrutam. What is aparihrutam? What is there and should be done away with? Parijihirshati wants to give that up. And what is aprapta wants to get that. Lipsate desires that, to attain that. So that is the general case. But here there is no application of general case here. Why? He says that sukha need not be sought because it is your nature. And dukkha need not be given up because it is already in your nature to do dukkha tyaga. Naturally it has happened. So that's your swarupa. So here what? Ajnanata yatha. So yatha, we have seen the this thing anvaya here, but it will connect with the other words also. Yatha kanthe chamikaram labdham chamikaram ajnanata lipsate, and yatha cha atmanah chhayayam स्वतः वर्जितम भ्रांत्या परिजर्षित. और इसके अंदर यथा आत्मनः छायायाम स्वतः वर्जितम रक्षः भ्रांत्या परिजर्षति. And then you can add these hetus also. भयान मोहावनद्धा आत्मा सन भ्रांत्या परिजर्षति. So here again this parijayarti Dehli Deepanyana can be connected with the other part also. Yaccha aparihritam vastu parijayarshati, and tatha alabdam cha vastu lipsate. So similar is the case here. Or you can say alabdam cha, if you add bhrantya, then you can also make another anvaya saying that bhrantya yaccha aparihritam you can't do aparihritam. You can do that, just a thinking there. Yaccha aparihritam bhrantya, because tatha is there. So tatha being there, you can say tatha yaccha aparihritam cha lipsate vastu, and alabdhancha vastu parijihirshati. That way also you can see, because it will go with bhranti, bhrantya. Due to bhranti, what happens? Moha wants to, desires what is already aparihruta. It is already, meaning it can never be given up. Aparihruta means which can never be given up, one desires. Sukha can never be given up and one desires. And dukkha can never accrue to you, but still what? Still wants to do away with it. So alabdham cha dukkham parijihirshati. This is also another possibility. We look at what the Tikakara does. Tika. Where is it? Yeah. So tadetat praptavyasya pariharyasya cha pratyekam dvaividyam darshayati. So there are two. So here he has made 4 divisions, 2 each. So what is to be sought and what is should be given up. Praptavya, what should be sought. And pariharya, what can be. You can say pariharya in yogyata. You can say what can be done away with. Or what could be. Not should, what could be. So there, praptavya and pariharya both have, pratyekam have dvaividyam. So what is that? Lipsateti. Swatah praptam eva kanthagatam suvarna bhushanam ajnanata apraptam praptum ichchati. So kanta chamikara, which is suvarna bhushan, the golden necklace, is already there. So ajnanata, because one does not know, has ajnana about that kantachamikara, therefore apraptam praptum ichchati. Ajnanata apraptam, not really apraptam. Labdham, but अप्राप्तम इव अलब्धम इव प्राप्तुम इच्छति देन तथा अविद्यमानत्वादेव स्वतः एव वर्जितं स्वकीय छायायां भ्रांत्या आरोपितं राक्षसम रक्ष इज राक्षसम मोह मोह आवृत्त अंतःकरण मोह आवृत्त अंतःकरण वशात सो मोहावशात सो भयवशात सो हियर भयवश इज a हेतु फॉर बीइंग अंडर द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ मोह आल्सो परिहर्तुम इच्छति सो दीज आर द टू डिविजन्स नाउ सो भ्रांत्या आरोपितं राक्षस in one's own chaya, swakiya chayayam. Atmana there is reflexive, swakiya. Atmana means swakiya chayayam. Swatayeva varjitam. It is not there. Rakshasa is not there. But as though it is there, one thinks that it is there. Not as though. For that person it is real. Bhayat. Bhayavashat. Moha vritta antakarana san. Being someone whose mind is deluded now. Why? Because of fear. That is the hetu. Therefore, this Rakshasa, he wants to give away with. Whatever, call it Rakshasa, Chaura, whatever. Today you will say, what Rakshasa? They are seen only in Purana Kathas. So, Rakshasi Guna, whoever has Rakshasi Guna, he is a Rakshasa only. And what is Rakshasi Guna, by the way? Vyutpatti Artha is what? For Asura. For Asura it is there, not for Rakshasa there. But anyway, Rakshasa also is there. From whom there is Raksha needed, that is Rakshasa. So we can say anyone who, I fear, I have fear, that is a Rakshasa. But Asura has a Vyutpatti. Asura you can say, oh, there is no Asura here. Asura is what? Asushu, Indriyeshu, Ramante iti Asuraha. Those who rejoice in Indriyas, Vishaya Sukha, they are all Rakshasas. So in, at some point of time, we all get into that, this thing, what is the Vyutpatti Artha. So Yogika Artha, we all can be categorized at some point of time when we enjoy through our sense organs, then we are all technically Rakshasas. But here what? Rakshasa is whoever you, not Rakshasa, Asuras. So here what is a Rakshasa here? Rakshasa is, in fact, this also, they say Nishachara. Nishachara is also a bad word. It is a bad word of, it is a bad word for, foul words. People use foul words. So this is bad word of the, refined people. So you'll say in Maharashtra, they'll say, the Pune, the old Pune scholars, they'll use this word, Nishachara, Naradhama, all these, Narana Madhye Adama. So today, I mean, many, these are all pure Sanskrit, they say in Hindi, Sanskrit Gali. So these are all, very refined words. But if you look at who is a Nishachara, Nishachara is someone who's, Nisha is Ratri, Ratro Charati. So that is a Nishachara, who roams around at night. Many of us, you say, oh, let's go for a late night walk. Hey, Nishachara. That person is a Nishachara, really. So anyway, I'm just saying that these words have paribhashika meanings also. And then here the Rudi Artha is Rakshasa is whoever you fear from really. So these are the two divisions. Further, what is the division? Yacha anyad vastutaha aparihrutam chora vyagradi alabdham cha vittadi parihartum praptuncha ichhati iti dvitiyam api dvidam drishyate ityartha. So one is real, real in the sense a person thinks that yes, it is there. Second is what? Bhranti, meaning what? Vyavaharika satya and pratibhashika satya. In both cases, there is praptavya and what? Here he has said the praptavya vastu and the division is between praptavya and tyaktavya, pariharya. So praptavya and pariharya are two. One is vyavaharika, the other is pratibhasika. Both examples have been given. So there's a fourfold division. So one, what is praptavya? What is not there is praptavya, or what one thinks is not there due to ajnana, bhranti, that is praptavya. So two divisions. What are the two other pariharyas? One which is with me, but I don't want it. And second is what? I already don't have it, but I think I have it and I want to do it with. So these are the four categories. That's what the Tikakara says here. There are four divisions there. इति स्वतः प्राप्तं, we saw this, यच्च अन्यद् वस्तु परिहर्तुं, वित्तादि परिहर्तुं इच्छति यच्च अन्यद् वस्तुतः परिहृतं, so द्विविधं दृश्यते इत्यर्थः. So there are four types. There is 31 and 32. So he has also done the same thing, 31 and 32. So we'll look at 33rd in the next part. Bhavatu evam ityadi. यत् साक्षात् सच्चिदानन्दं प्रत्यगद्वयम् अक्रियं तन्नमामि नृसिंहस्य योगी गम्यं परम पदम्. नमस्ते, धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद।